Aloha and welcome to Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. I am your host, Jennifer Lesson, with my co-host, Dr. Sasha Lesson, who is an anthropologist. This is an episode of Enki Speaks, a part of the Aquarian Radio Network. This series is a part of a series called The Anunnaki and Us, 30 Chapters of Our History, which covers our history from 4.5 billion years ago to approximately around 311 BCE. In this show, we share chapters 13 and 14, and today we start with chapter 13, which is Enki's heir, Marduk, lost Mars' command when Nibiru's perigee killed Mars' gold transshipment base. And now here is our co-host, the incredible Dr. Sasha Lesson. Take it away, Sash.
When Nibiru crossed between Jupiter and Mars, Nibiru's gravity jounced the planets and disrupted Nibiru's atmosphere. 300,000 years ago it crossed, and this time hurricanes and brimstones hit Earth's moon. The crossing agitated the atmosphere, ignited volcanoes, and loosed mighty earthquakes on Earth. Nibiru's crossing battered Mars, too. It ruined the Nibiru's astronaut base there. It destroyed the smelting plant. It wrecked the transshipment warehouses. Mars was a wreck. And Marduk, who is the manager now of Mars, asked Enlil, the commander of the gold mining expedition to Earth, "Please, boss, give me another job on Earth." Enlil, from Earth, messaged King Anu on Nibiru. "You ain't going to get no more gold shipments from Mars," he said. "The rockets are going to have to take the gold all the way from Iraq to Nibiru." Well, Enki beamed to Nibiru. "Please keep my son Marduk as the leader of the astronauts. How about why don't you give all those astronauts in Marduk a job on a base on the moon?" And Enki argued, "The net polar gravity of Earth greatly exceeds that of Mars. To overcome it, the gravity of Earth, our powers would be exhausted. Let's look at an alternative. Nearby Earth, we have the moon. The moon's smaller in its gravity. The ascent and descent takes much less energy. Let's start a way station there and let me and Marduk go there and take a look." Well, Anu messaged back, "Let the moon be first examined." And he approved the moon trip for Enki and Marduk, but the king, Anu, was basically shrinking the power of Enki and Marduk, especially Marduk, because Marduk was allied with Shamgaz and the astronauts. Anu had agreed that Marduk could succeed Alalu as Nibiru's king, but then he overthrew Alalu, and so now Marduk wasn't going to even get a shot at it.
Anu also suspected Enki, Marduk's father, abetted both the Gigi revolt Anzu led and also the miners' mutiny in Africa. So Anu ended gold transfer on Mars, and with it, Marduk lost his job as the operations boss. He gave Utu, Enlil's loyal grandson, rule of the new spaceport from which the gold would rocket straight to Nibiru at Sipar. Now an Enlilite, Utu, not an Enkiite, Marduk commanded the astronauts. In a rocket ship did Enki and Marduk to the moon journey. In a place of rolling hills they set the rocket ship down. Eagles' helmets they had to don. The atmosphere was, for breathing, insufficient. In the rocket they made their dwelling. For one circuit, one orbit around an Earth year, they remained. Enki promised Marduk supremacy. Marduk on the moon with Enki told him, "You, father, are Anu's firstborn, yet Enlil, and not you, the heir is. Gold in the city of Ninurta is assembled therefrom to send to or withhold. The survival of Nibiru is in his hands, not mine. Am I to fame and kingship fated, or again to be humiliated?" Enki hugged Marduk. On that which I have been deprived, command of earth, your future lot shall be. Your celestial time will come. Enki alluded here to the age of the ram, Marduk's constellation, when Marduk should, with the calendar Enki created, rule. Enki's calendar assigned 12 equal segments to star constellations. The constellation in front of which the sun rose on June 21st, he said, showed the Anunnaki would rule all, and Marduk's time to reign supreme would, in celestial time, come. Anu ruled, earthlings multiplying in Absu must assist evacuation, transport, refining gold till after several shars, which are 3,600 years. Sufficient will be the shield of earth's gold powder to save Nibiru. Then home shall the heroes, also known as astronauts, from earth return.
Some of the earthling miners in South Africa, after 100,000 years of toil to get what seemed to be an unimportant substance, gold, revolted. Others kept digging. The Nibiruans let many of the earthlings just leave the mining compounds, and some of these earthlings created new communities right there in Africa, and they survived without any help from the Nibiruans. So we earthlings were civilized at first, in as much as they call civilized, meaning that we lived in cities or mining centers of the Nibiruans, and we worked for them. Some of us were forced into a non-city environment. Humans in the city centers were contemporaneous with humans in the wild. The people in the city did not evolve from people in the wild. That's a misconception. It's quite the other way around. The slaves that the mining bosses cast off in Africa, like the descendants of Cain who moved to the east, they developed their own so-called native indigenous traditions. But their native indigenous traditions still had the memories of the Nibiruan gods, the Nibiruan cities, the Nibiruan binds, and Nibiruan miscegenation.
Chapter 14, Multiplying Earthlings, Ninurta took to Eden, created famine.
Most Nibiruans, but not Enlil, wanted Earthlings to work for them too. Ninurta and 50 men raided Enki's slave facility in southeast Africa and caught Earthlings and brought them to work the gardens, orchards, and cities in Iraq. Enlil let Ninurta keep the Earthlings there in Iraq and even let him breed them. For now, Enlil thought, we're going to soon get off Earth. And the king has said, just get gold a few more shars and then get out. In Iraq, the naked Earthlings worked, cavorted, copulated, and bred. They slaved and they forged. Their numbers grew until they ran out of food. Now Enlil, very angry at Enki for having created these fertile humans, these Earthlings, really just adaptations of Nibiruans, told Enki, teach them to feed themselves. So Enki took the opportunity to give the Earthlings seeds, plants, and tame beasts.
Thank you for joining us this evening. This has been an episode of Enki Speaks on Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. Next time, we will hear how Enki's Earthling son, Adapa, learns how to fly a plane and is ordered to Nibiru. Please do take a look at our website, aquarianradio at aquarianradio.com. Just aquarianradio.com and EnkiSpeaks.com, where you can find links to buy our books. Our books are Anunnaki, Gods No More, Anunnaki, Legacy of the Gods, and Dance of the Souls. Book 1 is Pierce the Veil. So once again, aloha, love and blessings from Janet Carroll Lesson, and
this is Dr. Sasha Lessons. Namaste.